Good evening and welcome to Blueprint Explosive Exclusive. I'm Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get you a mega exclusive story on the NEET-UG paper leak investigation. It's now opened a crucial trail and Times Now has accessed documents and digital evidence that reveal the alleged blueprint of the operation. From a coded question paper sets as well as the secret communication to file transfers, digital footprints, our investigation tracks how the alleged network was built and how the questions may have reached candidates even before the examination. Times Now has accessed the evidence trail that investigators are examining, tracing the movement of question files, accused individuals, and the alleged chain of connections. What are we talking about? Let's get you now the first mega exclusive this evening. This is a chat that we've accessed between two of the accused, Manghilal Kartik as well as Dr. Yash Yadav. This chat reveals how the leaked NEET exam material was sent not just hours, but days before the exam took place. Have a look at this. What are we talking about? One, that there were 3 files sent. Yash Yadav, the accused, is saying that save it in your gallery. I will delete it once you save it. Done, sir, is the messaging that is happening. The second WhatsApp chat, 3 files sent at 1:11 p.m. on April 29th. This is also, of course, a sign of how physics, you can see envy, all of those details written over there. The file sent 4 days before the NEET examination actually takes place. So very clearly, all of these files are being shared several days before the actual examination paper. But there's a much bigger concern at play over here. Not only was leaked material shared, the leaked material almost completely cloned the actual paper. Here's what we are talking about. The biology section, look at the Kailash set, 84 of the 90 questions matched the actual NEET paper. In the Shivalik set, 75 of the 90 questions matched the actual question paper. In set 2, 77 of 90 questions matched, and in set 3, 47 of 90 questions matched. So not so lucky to those who got this here, but certainly, of course, this is as far as just one subject, biology, is concerned. Let's take a look at chemistry. Now, this is the Kailash set in chemistry. 45 of 45 questions that are matched over here in the Kailash set. There is also the Shivalik set where, again, 45 of 45 questions matched. In set 2, again, 45 of 45 questions matched. In set 3, almost no question matched. This is a very significant, and let me take this across to Priyank, who's joining us. Priyank, these are very, very significant findings, and this is what investigators are telling us clinches the case, because not just was it happening days before the actual examination, but also the fact that there were files being shared and that the accuracy in terms of the actual question paper is extremely close.
See, Madhav, these were the findings of the Rajasthan SOG, which was later on taken by the Central Bureau of Investigation when they started this particular investigation. And you can imagine that those students who were not good in studies, who were getting 49 marks, were certainly about to get around 99 to 98 percentile. There have been series of multiple chats which has also been found by the Central Bureau of Investigation to the investigation which was done by the Rajasthan SOG, which is certainly suggesting that how the paper leak happened on 29th, because the chat shows that around 1:11 p.m. These papers were sent to these accused on WhatsApp on 29th itself, which was apparently 4 days ahead of the exam. And on 30th night, the drama started, the build-up which was being done by these accused since the month of October, when they started giving tuitions to the student, assuring them that they will get the best paper leak through their site. The papers actually exchanged hand on 29th. So that's a massive revelation which has been done by the CBI. While talking about the modus operandi, these expert teachers who were given the responsibility of translating the question paper in 13 different languages started using cheats to take out those question paper. Few of them were memorizing, and few of them were also writing it on the NCERT textbook so that it can be leaked, and whenever they used to go to the hotel room. So major modus operandi has been busted by the CBI. What is also important to note, Madhav, that the strong room was not that much robust, because of which the
Stay with us,
paper
Priyank,
leak.
because there are some more information coming in terms of the actual chat that Times Now has accessed between several of these players in this entire episode. And now this is on the radar of investigating agencies, including the CBI. Take a look at what we're talking about. The first chat, one of the accused comes out to say, 24 का भी गलत है भाई पीडीएफ में, ये थोड़ा करेक्शन थी केमिस्ट्री में, वो मैंने भेज दिया आपसे. So there's a correction being said. The second accused says biology की भी आंसर का नहीं भेजा कि नहीं भेजी आपने. This is the kind of conversation, specific papers and specific questions that they are discussing. Let me take this across to Bhavtosh. Bhavtosh, this is very, very significant because here they are discussing the specifics of how much in each question paper was correct, how much was wrong. They are making corrections as to what they had sent earlier, and they're discussing specifics of other question papers as well. The nexus is very clear.
Yes, Madhav. In fact, the person who leaked the question paper was Manisha Wagmare. Otherwise, this would have remained in a very closed group. And Manisha Wagmare was the one who gave the question paper to Yash Yadav. And Yash Yadav was in fact very amateur. He in fact did not even have the right answer key and was Google searching these answers. In fact, he was using the search key to find the right answers to the physics question paper. In fact, some of the accused got so happy, or they were so elated with the question paper, that after the exam got over, one of the candidates' mother in fact asked PV Kulkarni that she wants the address of PV Kulkarni so that she can gift a watch. In another place, Shivraj Motegaonkar put 40 to 60 students in a hostel room so that he can give the PDF file and they can memorize the answers. So this was the extent of leak that was happening before the actual exam took place on 3rd of May.
Okay.
CBI has now said that they will give the recommendation to NTA so that such leaks don't happen in future.
Bhavtosh and Priyank, thanks so much for joining us with your inputs on the story. Certainly a massive investigation that we're doing right here at Times Now. Let me open this up and take it across to our guest. Jasmine Sandawalia, spokesperson of BJP with us. Chitra Vatham, spokesperson of the Congress Party. Vikram Singh, former IPS as well as Chancellor of Noida International University, joins us. And Kapil Gupta is founder of NEET Prep. Let me come out and ask you first. Dr. Vikram Singh, you know, if you're looking at the details, and we have put out some details that are reflected in the charge sheet this morning, now more and more evidence that has been coming out, and very clearly the very casual manner in which these individuals are discussing. Someone saying chemistry mein there is this correction. The other person says biology ka bhi bhejiye. What is going on?
Madhavji, I'm as shocked and scandalized as all of you, our esteemed guests, would be. You allowed the grass to grow underneath your feet. I'm shocked to hear that this level of absolute cavalier attitude, carelessness of a criminal type. The master scamsters perfected the art of swindling, memorizing, taking the question papers, answering them, and making the students memorize them. And then, as your reporter said, that the strong room was not powerful enough to contain the sanctity of the question papers. I must really say, I'm absolutely shocked. Even a primary school would have done better than this. A primary school, a good high school would have done better. This is absolutely scandalous. And Honorable Ma'am, I would request you to please, Jasmine Ma'am, to take it up. This is the scandal of the century. We cannot allow this to happen to us, whatever may be your concern in respect of any agitation. But this is one place where the government has been caught on the back foot. We could have done much better. We have done better, and we expect a lot more from the NTA and the Education Ministry.
All right. Jasmine Sandawalia, since that question is addressed to you, would like to respond, because clearly there are huge lacunae that are being pointed out. And of course, the students have protested. The Education Minister is gone. All that is fine. But there are big lacunae in the conduct of the NEET. To prevent such things from happening in the future, there have to be fundamental changes in the manner in which our exams are conducted. The compromise of strong rooms, the manner in which people are openly discussing papers. This has to end.
Maldas, I absolutely agree that what has happened is very, very unfortunate, and it should have not happened. It should have not at all happened. The students have suffered. We've lost very precious lives. And coming from BJP, I will say that the agitation which happened, the students had every right to agitate. It's a democracy, and they had been let down by the system. But at the same time, I am not defending the government. The government, of course, is responsible. The moral obligation lies with the government to create a conducive atmosphere, a fair system of education. And yes, we do need fundamental changes in our education system. I absolutely agree with, Mr. Vikram Singh that in India we need to revamp our education system. But at the same time, I want to say that it is so unfortunate that the corruption in our education system has seeped to such level that those professors who were inside, who memorized the papers, you see, you can only choose thinking that these people are going to be right, but their conduct cannot be monitored. You cannot play God with them. It
No,
is
but
up to
ma'am,
the
if in a
individual
span
also.
of 3 years, if there are 2 leaks, then it's surely not just a question of a few players. And the BJP has been in power for 12 years at the center. What have you been doing? Why haven't you been able to
they
ensure
were
a foolproof
leaks.
system?
You see, there were always leaks in the system of education.
So
This
you
is
had
not
12
a
years
new
to plug them, ma'am.
phenomena. I'm not justifying that the leaks have happened, but at the same time, this is not a new phenomena. The leaks have always happened since 1954.
No, ma'am, this is not an argument. If this is Naya Bharat, we should have found ways of plugging the system without even involving our armed forces. We don't have to call in the army for something like conducting a question paper. There are various other options. Let me bring in the other person, the other panelist. Kapil Gupta, when you hear these arguments that this is beyond us, that there are unethical players, of course there is corruption. There is no denying that there is corruption. There is all pervasive corruption in our society. But is that an excuse for allowing these kind of paper leaks? And where is the accountability? Of course, at the level of the education minister, it has been fixed. But how do we prevent these ghastly scenes from occurring again?
No, I think the place where things are today, these things are going to happen again and again. These are very well rooted people. This is big money. This is not small money, and we just need to understand that there is high quality incompetence at play. Someone just doesn't know how to get things done. As Vikram Singh sir was saying, we conduct tests for students. We do a better job with a much smaller set of individuals. Just imagine the number. So I'll tell you the problem. NTA has around 50 direct employees. Their annual revenue is around 1,100 crores, and they have around 200 contract employees. The whole system is designed to be compromised very, very easily because they don't understand. They are dealing with a very, very high risk situation where middlemen and big coaching people, everyone trying to get out that paper so that they can make big money. Instead of that, you have created a very, very lean organization. 50 people, just imagine, it's almost like a project management nodal agency for some kind of urban infrastructure work. It just does not reflect. There aren't cybersecurity experts. There aren't people who have expertise in conducting exams. There aren't internal people who are physics, chemistry, biology experts. Everything is outsourced. Then that is collected at one place. And I am flabbergasted. An actual paper in the hands of someone who's telling this is going to happen on 3rd May. No one knows what the actual paper is going to be. It is randomized and then generated. How can actual paper be in the hands of the translator?
Several days in advance. Several days in advance. That is what is making these revelations so shocking. That there are several days in advance discussing who will get which paper and how on. And Jasmine Sandawali, I'd like you to take that question because, there are a lot of safeguards that NTA could have ensured. The National Testing Agency was formed with the purpose of ensuring that exams are conducted in a professional manner. They just don't have the staff. They just don't have the expertise. Basic things like cybersecurity experts, etc. All of these things are something that were within the control of the managers of NTA, and they thoroughly failed.
Well, after all, the system failed, and that's why this has happened. So for me to come to defense to something which cannot be defended, it'll be unfortunate. I also have children who will suffer if this system continues. What I'm saying is that yes, there were loopholes. There were tremendous loopholes, but at the same time, the government has come down very heavily on the system, and the BJP is the only government who came up 2 years back also to come up with stringent laws to pass a law, and the opposition was refusing to pass the law right now also. We had to really tell them that please come inside and pass this law. Again, I'm saying that it is unfortunate that this has happened. This system has collapsed and failed. But it is the BJP government, it was the Prime Minister's initiative that he said that strict, stringent law should be made to safeguard the education system.
Right. Chitra Vatham, respond to that. We wanted to change the law. The opposition did not cooperate. Do you agree with the BJP spokesperson?
Well, Madha, first of all, good evening to you as well as to the fellow panelists and to the viewers. I think this entire discussion in and around the laws, I think we need to nip the bud and fix the responsibility as to where the problem actually lies. It's the NTA where the leak has happened. They must acknowledge that fact, and the laws do not say anything about preventing that particular thing. So I believe they are actually hitting or they're trying to fix the solution somewhere else, whereas the problem lies somewhere else. I think there is sheer incompetence within the government and its functionaries to understand as to how to provide a solution to a respective problem. So I believe that you've talked about stringent laws. Stringent laws will not matter that much. You have 3 experts who have actually released or leaked those papers that has led to such a big scandal in this entire country, and we have lost so many lives, so many kids who were wanting to have a good future at their hand, and the respective teachers themselves are responsible for this. So I would like to question, how does the NTA actually take these people in? What's the credibility, what's the trustworthiness of these people when you hire them? So there are a lot of questions that needs to be answered, and the system till today is exposed and is not available to give any solution to the problems where this leakage is happening.
Okay, respond to that. Jasmine Sandhawalia, the point being taken, the point being made by you is that 2 years ago you brought in a law. Wonderful. But if that law was stringent and effective enough, you wouldn't have to pursue the opposition now to bring in an even more stringent amendment. Clearly that law did not work.
That law was not passed then. That law was not passed. The law has got passed now. The stringent law has got passed now. And I have again said
it is the amendment, madam. It is the amendment that has been passed. The law was already passed.
And why did the opposition, when the BJP agrees that the lapse happened, we agree that this has happened, we agree that, yes, we owe the moral responsibility, then why is the opposition was not willing to come down heavily and come up with the amendment law? Why were they shying away? Why were they stalling it? What was the reason?
Jasmine, madam, I would like to refresh your memory. Jasmine, madam, I would like to refresh your memory. In this entire monsoon session, there was no agenda to discuss on the NEET paper leak issue. Only after the 28th July incident, when there was such a barbaric effect on the students that was lashed out, only then the government started to kneel down. So otherwise, the government was in no mood to even, utter a word on this respective issue. So I believe you need to understand as to what your government is doing.
You need to understand that the law was already tabled. You need to understand that the law was already tabled for the monsoon session. So this is for everybody to know. So don't lie on national TV.
The law was already there in 2024, and still you have NDA. You still have NDA.
Ma'am, the law came in. Ma'am, just a second. The law came in 2 days before. Just a second. Let me refresh everybody's memory, because I remember very well what has happened. Through the protest, following, of course, the violence on Monday, it was on Thursday that the Prime Minister stepped in. And it's on Thursday the fast-track courts were announced. It's on Thursday that Mr. Wangchuk called off his fast. The Prime Minister made his first video assurance. And also, before that, the government had spoken about how they would bring in a law subsequently on Friday. And then the cabinet passed that law. And later that was taken up in Parliament. And on Saturday, Mr. Pradhan then stepped down. So the fact is that even before Mr. Pradhan stepped down, the government brought that law, but it was not before the session. The point being made over here is very simple, that governments have to listen, have to ensure that there is a foolproof environment as far as examinations are concerned, and ensuring that the future and all children of the country and their future, at least in terms of meritocracy, and those deserving of these particular qualifying exams are able to do so without any fear. Let's leave it there. Jasmine Sandhawalia, Chitra Vatham, Vikram Singh and Kapil Gupta, thanks so much for joining us this evening.